Page 36, question 1. Use the numbers below to solve. Use each digit once. 71029. Write the largest number you can. So to write the largest number, I put the largest digit in the largest place value and work my way backwards. 97210. Always going down in size as I get to the smaller place values. 97,210. B. Write the smallest number you can. Do not start with 0. Okay, because we don't generally put a 0 in a place value if there's nothing else in front of it. So if I don't start with the 0, the next smallest number is 1. 1. Now I can use the 0, so I'll put that next and work my way up. 279. Number 2. Multiplying by numbers, powers of 10. 6 times 100, 600. 6 times 10, 60. 6 times 1,000, 6,000. And 60 times 10, well, there's a 60. Add my 0 for 600. Or another way to think of that is 6 times 10, which is the 60, times 10. So 6 times 100 is still 600. Number 3. Which of the following are all multiples of 6? Choose the best answer. Okay, if I look at patterns, 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on, one thing I know about 6 is I have an even number in 6. I'm always adding an even amount to it, so I can never have an answer that is odd. So any of these answers here that contain an odd number cannot be correct. So the only possible answers I have left right now are the third and the fourth. And so can I divide all of these numbers evenly by 6? 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24. So that set works. Okay. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. So I have a problem with this number, so it looks like the only one that's going to work is the third one. Okay, I'm going to solve these problems for number 4. And again, it doesn't matter if I do the 1s or the 10s first. 50, because this is 56, so 50 times 4 is 200. And 4 times 6 is 24. So I have 50 groups of 4, 6 groups of 4, add them together, 224. And for the next one, 400 times 6, that's 2400. 20 times 6 is 120. And 3 times 6 is 18. Add up all my groups, 8, 3, 5, and 2. And again, I can do a quick check. Does my answer make sense? Well, 6 times 400 is 2400, and I'm going to have a little bit more than that. So, yeah, I would say that answer makes sense. Number 5, 27 divided by 9. Well, 9 times 3 is 27, so there are 3 groups of 9 in 27. Well, 9 times 3 is 27, so 9 times 30 is going to be 270, or there are 30 groups of 9 in 270. What number is equal to 42 divided by 7? Well, 42 divided by 7 is 6. And now I have 420, or in other words, 10 times as many groups here, and I'm still dividing by the same single-digit number. So if I have 10 times as many groups, I should have 10 times as many groups in my answer. So 60 times 7 is equal to 420. Number 6, write the following number in expanded form. So I'm going to take each place value. Okay, so I have 2 here, and that 2 is in the 10,000s place, which makes 20,000. Next digit is a 3, and that is in the thousands place. Next digit is a 4 in the hundreds place. Next digit is a 6 in the tens place. And the final digit is a 5 in the ones place. Page 39, number 1. Okay, so how many cubes to fill the prism? Volume equals base times height. Now I could count the bottom as my base, but I really don't have all the pieces in the bottom of the base. So I'm going to use this top part here as my base, this side that is complete. And I see that there are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 pieces in the base. Okay, so there's my base. And I see that if I'm using this as my base, I go out 4 layers of that. So 18 times 4, well, lots of ways I can do this. Let's do 10 times 4 is 40. 4 times 8 is 32. Add those two together. So my answer of my volume is 72. It takes 72 cubes to fill the prism. Number 2. Okay, so in this case it says my formula, volume equals length times width times height. We don't have a solid base anywhere to count, so I'm just going to have to figure out each of my measurements. Going across the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that measurement is 4. Then going back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a height of 1, 2, 3, 4 also. So I have all 3 measurements, and I'm going to double check and make sure that I used 2 different measurements here, and I did. The 4 going across this way and the 4 going up are the same, so I didn't just count the same measurement twice. And now I have 4 times 5 is 20. Well, let's put the numbers in. So the volume equals 4 times 5 times 4, and I'm going to do the 4 times 5 first to get 20. 20 times 4 is 80. So 80 cubes to fill the prism. Number 3, volume is length times width times height. Okay, I have a length across here of 3. Its depth or width is going back 3. It's 3 by 3, and it is 1 layer high. So 3 times 3 times 1. 3 times 3 is 9, times 1 is still 9. 9 cubes to fill the prism. Okay, here we are looking to use base times height. So I'm going to have to figure out what that base would be. I'm only going to use 2 measurements, but it doesn't give me a completed base. So I'm going to use this bottom layer, see if I can figure out what that is, to use that for my base number. And it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3. So my base is 15, 3 by 5, and it has a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 15 times 5 is 75, so 75 cubes to fill the prism. Page 40, number 1. Find the area of the rectangle. Write a number sentence. Okay, so area is length times width. So my number sentence is going to be 3 times 1 and 1/4. But when I actually multiply that out, it's easier for me if I change this number into an improper fraction. Okay, so 1 times 4 is 4, plus the 1 up top. My numerator is 5. My denominator is 4, multiplied by 3 over 1. 3 written as a fraction is 3 whole units. 3 divided by 1 is 3. Multiply it out. 15 over 4. I divide 15 by 4. Fraction is a division problem. 4 goes into 15 3 times. There are 3 left over. So my final answer is 3 3/4 square centimeters. Remember, I'm doing area, so I'm using square units. What is the value of the 4 in the following numbers? Well, in this case, the 4 is in the tens place, so the 4 represents 40. The next number, the 4 is in the hundreds place, so it represents 400. The next number, it's in the thousands place, so it represents 4,000. And in the last number, it is in the 10,000s place, so it represents 4 units of 10,000 or 40,000. Complete. Number 3. 6 feet is how many inches? Well, at 12 inches per foot, 12 times 6 is 72. How many tons is 4,000 pounds? Well, a ton is 2,000 pounds. So 2,000 times 2 would give me the 4,000 pounds here. A half a pound is how many ounces? Well, there are 16 ounces in a full pound, and half of 16 is 8. And 9 yards is how many feet? Well, there are 3 feet per yard, and I have 9 groups of 3 feet, and that gives me 27 feet. And number 4, find the volume of the prism. I know that my formula for volume is length times width times height. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in depth or width. And 1, 2, 3 high. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply 5 times 3 first to get 15. Double it. That's 2 times 15 is 30, but double it again to get 4 times as much, and 30 doubled is 60. And number 5. How did you find the area of the rectangle in problem 1? Well, I used my formula, length times width, and then I took that and made both numbers into improper fractions, then multiplied. Then I simplified my answer.